Good morning, everybody. Singletrack Samurai. Today is the day that we go and start prepping the bicycles for the trip. Every trip, no matter where I'm going, I true the wheels, check the bottom bracket, put a new chain, check the brake pads and replace if needed. All standard operating procedures, and of course we also inspect the tires to make sure they're right. And that's what we're off to do. I'll be using my Y-Cycles Supple 7 that I've been riding for a few years now. It has Industry 9 wheels, Sun Dynamo front hub, and electronic shifting. It is an excellent bike and my go-to bike for expeditions. Big, meaty Maxxis 2.6 tires. Tony will be using her trusty Scott scale. It's a bike that still has quick release skewers. We have severely modified it with velocity wheels, a carbon 9er fork. That bike is super light. She absolutely loves it, and that's what she'll be riding. JC's Bike Shop has been the closest thing I've had to a sponsor for about the past 8 years. So this is where we come to do the work and do the magic. Oh yeah, it's ready for you. Everything went great with the checkouts of the bikes for the most part. I'll give you some details. Tony's bike, she needed brake pads all the way around. All the wheels were perfectly straight. Normally we added sealant, so we always add sealant. I went ahead and replaced the chain. It definitely needed it. When I measured it out, the chain definitely needed replacing. Not a big deal, this is normal. From there, once I got all the bikes ready, I was ready to go ahead and start the process of boxing the bikes. Boxing a bike is a process that you do the same almost every time you box. You start by removing the pedals. Some have 8mm sockets, some have 6mm sockets. Figure out what you got. Start by removing the pedals. From there, I go ahead and the next part of the process is I remove anything that might poke through the box. So light mounts, or anything sticking out, racks, water bottle cages, anything that might poke through the box, you want to take them off. And once I remove those items, I box them and put them in separate little bags, and I put them with the box with the pedals. I don't want those things to fall out of the box and come up missing, so that's super important to me and part of my process. The next thing I do, which I think is really cool and important, is I worry about handlebar lineup when I'm putting the bike back together. So a little trick that I learned over the years is I will take a Sharpie and I'll make a little line on one side of the bar and then go all the way through the center of the stem and then out the other side of the bar. And then I remove the handlebars, and what this lets me do is when I put it back together, I can see exactly how it goes. The other thing that bothers me is seat post height. So I go ahead and I use a little bit of duct tape or electrical tape to mark the side of the height of the seat post, and this serves two purposes. It allows me to know exactly where to put the seat post when I put it back together, and it also gives me a little bit of extra tape just in case I need some type of tape for a field repair where a zip tie is not enough. I've even used it in the past to repair some tent poles, so it turns out to be pretty handy and definitely satisfy the rules of bike packing where you have items serve two purposes instead of just one purpose. Because we have electronic shifting, I went ahead and shifted them to the smallest gear and removed the derailleurs and removed the chain. Then I lowered the air in the tires. You want to lower the air just enough so that the tires won't expand and explode while they're in the airplane. But in this case, I let out too much air and ended up having to go back and add a little more air because there was sealant coming out. And the nightmare scenario would have been for TSA to see sealant dripping out of a box and then it turns into some type of biohazard because they don't know what sealant is. Once I do that, I add a little bit of minimal packaging. I focus on protecting the fork. I remove the brake caliper and cover it in a bag. Anything that comes loose is bagged and placed in the box. So the shifter, the derailleur, all in the box. Once I complete that part of the process, I go ahead and I focus on the aero bars. I wrap them with bubble tape and tape them all the way around, foam and bubble tape, and put them all in the box. As you can see here in the next shot, the bikes are tight and right. I put a little bit of gear in the box, and I make sure everything is tied to the frame, so if the box comes out, nothing gets dumped. Our emergency kits are robust. We have Fiber Fix, which is a fiber spoke repair. We have cassette removal tools. We have zip ties, extra sealant, extra lubrication, bits and pieces of chain. We have darts, 2 tubes. My clothes kit is pretty solid. I like to plan my clothes. Here's the scenario I envision. It's raining, it's cold, and I need to put on clothes and get dressed for those kinds of weather. So I have rain kit, a robust real rain kit, not a lightweight rain kit, with rain pants and a rain jacket. I have merino base layers. I have alpaca long sleeve hooded layers, alpaca socks, merino socks. I have wool arm warmers. I have knee warmers. I have like 4 pairs of socks, from super thick socks to lightweight merino wool socks. I like wool because it still works when it's wet, keeps me still warm. For camp, I have a pair of camp shorts, and because we're doing some swimming, I have some other shorts that not only could I ride in, but I can also swim in. I also have a pair of long merino wool tights for sleeping at night. I have a sun shirt, which is what I plan to wear while I'm riding my bike. And I also have a pair of very thick padded shorts to wear while I'm riding. We are so excited about this trip. Tony has never been to Colorado. I absolutely love Colorado. We fly out tomorrow morning at 6:30 in the morning. Fingers crossed that our bikes and our gear make it unscathed and that we're able to reassemble the bikes without issue. The good news is, if there is a problem, Steamboat has many bike shops, so we'll find a solution. We're taking along a bunch of camera gear. I even have a drone courtesy of Graham Partain at Florida Bike Adventures. We'll be sharing live updates when we have signal through my Instagram account at Singletrack Samurai. And if I'm able to make some videos in the field, I will, and I'll post them up on YouTube as soon as I get a chance. We also want to take a moment to thank everyone who put a little something in the jar to help us on our trip. A lot of people contributed, and we're very generous, and we really can't thank you enough for that. That's so nice of you. I went ahead and linked the previous episodes in the series in the comments below. I've also went ahead and added my gear list, and I added my repair list just in case you're curious what that looks like. The goal of this whole series has been to hopefully give you an insight into my process. Maybe it'll help you advance or develop or make your process even better. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the other side. Thank you so much.